So when you're working through a change, rather than just going, firing the starter's gun and just going for it the whole way through, I want you to think about a phased approach to a change. So, all right, so I'm going to approach it in 4 phases. And like most things, we get momentum over time. So that's how I want to really focus this particular change or change approach. Okay, so we have 4 phases. The first phase is that we activate. We get things going. And that's about our setup and about our planning. It's about our resourcing, all of those sorts of things. So that's phase 1. Phase 2 is calibrate. And I should acknowledge Taki Moore for teaching me this approach. I've adapted it a bit, but it's a really great way of approaching change. So calibrate is about checking in. How is it going? Is everything working as it should? What else do you need to do to set up for the next phase, which is going to be the accelerate phase? This is where you really ramp up the pace, you really focus, and you really get stuff done. So accelerate, and I can see it's lagging on mine as well. Accelerate is really where we pick up the pace, we work really intensively because we've got everything set up properly, we've made the tweaks that we need to, and now we really sprint and get a whole lot of activity accomplished. But we can't keep that up on a never-ending basis or a long-term basis, months and years. So then what we need to do is we need to have a period where we're continuing to operate, but it's much more of a recovery phase, and this is evaluate. Right, and so there what we do is we actually assess our progress. We check in with what's worked. We recover. We do our rest. We consider our learnings, all of that sort of thing. And so that allows us, to be working at, a different pace. So they're our 4 phases. And so when we get, let me first say, the length of each phase, it's going to depend a little bit on the change that you're working on. So you might say it's kind of a month each phase, or you might have a couple of weeks of activation, a couple of weeks of calibration, a month of a sprint, a couple of weeks of evaluation.